Hello out there. Here we are with more Subnautica. And I decided I am going to review that Troll movie. And some of you probably are thinking that it's the new CGI movie based off the old toy. It is not. And if you're wondering, I've got to get quartz. Anywho, it starts off with our main character and his family showing up at this hotel. And this brings me to my little joke of it being the original Harry Potter movie. The father's name is Harry Potter, and his son is Harry Potter Jr.
I'm sorry.
Are those creatures yours?
Yes, sir. I'm afraid they are. Here, let me help you out. My name is Harry Potter. We just...
Hence the joke. Beyond that, it really does not have a reference to Harry Potter. It just is a kind of funny thing that they got the same name. But considering, well, if you've read my Worst Witch versus Harry Potter review, you'll know that Harry Potter is a ripoff of Worst Witch. Alright. Now, like I said, they're moving into their new apartment. The apartment complex has a variety of characters in it. They're all pretty much cannon fodder, though. I think one, other than the Harry Potter family, survives. Now, they don't actually die, but you don't ever see them again after things that happen to them. Oh, there's quartz. But anyways, the little sister is really annoying. But, you know, she's a little sister character. Yes. In fact, I'm going to look this up. I think it might be the same actress who played in the Poltergeist movies. I'm not sure. They look very similar if it's not. Obviously, you'll be reading it right here, whether it is or isn't. But I'll move on. While they're moving into their apartment, she's playing with her ball and being annoying to her brother, Harry Potter Jr. Well, she's bouncing her ball, and it gets down into the basement, and she's grabbed from behind by the troll. The troll ends up turning into her and tries to convince everybody that he is the sister. Which, you know, he actually is pretty successful at it. Except for the protagonist, Harry Potter Jr. Doesn't quite fall for it. But he knows there's something off about his sister, but he can't figure out what. Let's see, get to a spot that this works. Come on. Alright, there we go. Alright, sorry about that. Well, the father had bought dinner. It actually turns out that it was burgers. And, well, the troll has never had burgers before. Better put the door over here. Oh, I forgot to grab him out of the prawn suit, which is right here. And like the troll really loves the burgers, and is just like going to town on it. And the troll asks what it was. 'Cause obviously, troll wouldn't know what it was because never had it before. I'll fix that leak in a moment. And like it just goes nuts over the burgers. It refers to them as rat. The brother referred to them as rat burgers, and so she's she, or should I say he? I better start reinforcing this hole. Takes a lot more pressure down here. But running around the whole apartment complex saying rat burgers.
Here we go.
I want the works.
You keep acting the way you have been, I'll give you the works.
What's that?
It's the works.
What's in it?
Just eat it, honey. It's good for you.
But what's in it?
Good stuff, honey.
What a pig.
Harry, have you been letting her read your monster magazines?
More work.
More works what?
More work now.
Hey, bring back those rat burgers.
Anyways,
Welcome aboard.
and you get to meet some of the characters. Meet a guy who looks kind of like Sonny Bono, which might even be Sonny Bono. I'll look it up to be for sure. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but be kind of funny if it was Sonny Bono. There's a little person. I think that's the politically correct term for the little guy. He's played in a variety of movies. I'm not sure his name, but he's played in Willow as a brief cameo in Willow anyways. He played in Ghoulies 2. Ghoulies 2 is a great movie. If you haven't seen that, watch it. I don't know how many Ghoulie movies there are. I watched the first one. I wasn't that much of a fan of that one. Getting off topic, though. So... There we go. But, yeah. So... Basically, that scene's mostly to introduce some of the new characters. Well, not new characters, but some of the characters of the building. The son actually ends up becoming a friend of this old lady, who does become important later. Anyways, I can't remember the exact order the troll starts taking people out in. There's like I said, there's the Sonny Bono character who pretty I'm trying to think of a good way to refer to this. He's one of those playboy types, I guess is a good way to describe him. There's a girl who's of a similar quality. And like I said, there's the little guy. Let's see, was there anybody else? Alright, there's a guy who's really big on exercising. That's the last person. Other than, like I said, the old lady, which we'll get to her. Of editing, because with my ADHD, it's sometimes easy to get sidetracked and also lose a little focus. So you'll notice a gap there. Was having trouble thinking. The troll has this ring. And with this ring, he starts turning people into his troll buddies. I might not be able to do any more of that. Okay. I think that's all those that I'm going to do for the moment. I need to get more titanium before I can do anything else, so unpin those. Next thing I need to do, well, besides repair the holes in the hull, I need to get power in there. Do I need... Where's the power? Where's the power? The girl, he kind of turns her into, I guess, a fairy-type creature.
Warning, emergency power only. Oxygen production offline.
Anyways, he turns some of the, most of the other into just like generic little trolls. Nothing that exciting about them. But like I said, the girl was turned into like a fairy-like creature. However, my favorite character, again, we don't see these guys again when the movie's over, so safe to assume.
Hull integrity restored. Draining systems initiated.
Safe to assume they are presumed dead. No longer alive. And I need food and water.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
So, now to get back to the old lady, she actually knew the troll a long time ago. And I'm guessing in either another world or just the past. I don't remember if I don't know how clear that is in the movie. It sounds like the past, but they also talk about bringing his world to our world. So, question mark? And yeah, that's another thing he's doing when he's turning the people into his little friends. He's turning their apartment rooms, room by room, into his world. Well, the old lady, like I said, knew him in a past life, basically. Like I said, either it was another world they came from, or just the past, and they've been living forever, pretty much. She ended up being a sorceress a sorceress and a princess. Alright, she was a princess at one time, before she became a sorceress, or she was a sorceress and a princess. But anyways, his goal, like I said, is to try to bring the fairy world back.
Didn't she?
Yeah. How'd you know?
That Harry, my boy, is a troll. Or more specifically, Torok the troll.
It's a troll.
Oh, a fairy of sorts. Mean. Very strong. Look at that.
Isn't that you?
Yes, it's me. And that was Torok.
Wasn't Torok...
Can the chatter and listen up. There. Now, before there were countries, before there were presidents, there was just the world. One big place. And in this place, there were fairies and there were humans. Now, the leaders of both kingdoms decided that no one side would rule the other, that the kingdoms would be equally divided between the two of them. But that didn't set well with Torok and some of the fairies. They wanted to control the world, so there was a great big war. Well, the good humans won, and the rebel fairies were condemned to darkness.
And Torok was turned into a troll.
For all eternity. But now he has vowed his revenge. He still wants to rule the world with his army, and that's why he's here.
And that's why you're here? To stop him?
That's my job, kiddo.
But what is he doing here?
I'm not quite sure.
It comes down to just the two apartments, her apartment and his. If he gets all the apartments, for some reason it's just these apartments, then he succeeds. Go find for some titanium.
Welcome
Oh, look,
aboard,
there's some right
Captain.
here. Now, the reason why he kidnapped the sister, other than to, take her place, is he wants to make her the fairy queen, which, being that he's the ruler of the fairies and trolls and all that, would lead one to assume he wants to make her his bride. Well, he does come from an ancient time, well, it was kind of normal back then. How things were done back then. Princess gives the brother a weapon. And be like, you've got to plunge this into the heart, the heart of the Torok, which is, the troll's name. In order to stop him. I've got to unload some stuff. Now, for some reason, instead of staying put,
All systems online.
the old lady decides she wants to take him on herself. Also. Because, well, turns out that Torok is her old boyfriend. And basically he betrayed her, and that's, Where'd you go? Okay. And also she's been tasked to take care of him. Well, in the process of looking for him, she kind of runs into a big friend of his. That is the heart of the world. His world. Now, she had stayed. She gets captured and turned into a stump. Oh, and in case I forgot to mention it, his little friend, the little person, he actually turns him into an elf. If I forgot to mention that,
Malcolm? Everyone asked you if you were an elf.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever want to be?
I did, actually. When I was about your age, in fact. Maybe a little older. Doctors talking to my parents about recessive genes. I thought they were talking about pants. It's funny what you think about when you're a child. Just didn't understand what was happening. My parents told me, Malcolm, you're just not gonna grow anymore. I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if all this was happening to me because I was magic and not because I was sick? I used to sit in my bedroom and daydream and wish that I'd wake up the next morning in a land filled with unicorns and dragons and flying horses.
Oh, man, I thought I was so prepared. Turned out I wasn't, but luckily, I believe this is table coral. Oh, no, hemoboid. Anyways. She gets, like I said, she gets captured, turned into a little tree stump. Harry Potter has to defeat Lord Troldemort and save his sister. He does eventually find the heart of the world. His right-hand man is a very, very big thing. And I didn't bring a chip. Jeez, what was I thinking? I'm going to definitely have to make a trip back up, but hopefully I can just do it with the prawn suit. I'll do all that off camera. Well, Harry Potter is trying to fight the giant troll thing and get knocked down, loses his weapon. Now, he actually had released his sister from her entrapment. She was put into an enchanted sleep. No, they didn't do a, true loves kind of thing, kiss. Probably because, it was his sister and might be considered a little creepy. So, he gets knocked down and, he doesn't have the weapon anymore. And he has, like I said, his sister's there. Well, the troll is taking a real liking to her and doesn't want her hurt. Why is that not open? Is that not connected? That is not connected. Why was that not connected? That's weird.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
That was weird why it wasn't connected, but I mean, it shouldn't have been, not connected. Well, like I said, he's taken a liking to her and doesn't want anything bad happening to her. So, he picks up the weapon and throws it into his own monster. And now they're actually in the elven world, and it's now starting to collapse. They have to run out, which it happens to be in the basement where, the sister was kidnapped at. And, yeah, well, obviously they get out. And again, we never see the other tenants of the apartment. Though we do see the princess, sorceress, witch lady. Though, one thing I forgot to mention is she let down her hair and suddenly became younger. Not sure how. I guess that's was her magic, but not really explained. Now, I really like this movie. It's got some plot holes that are, or at least I think they're plot holes, that make it a little confusing at times. Like, why does he have to do the apartment? You know, I mean, there wasn't any apartment buildings back in the medieval times when they're, you know, so, I mean, maybe it's just a certain number of people. I'm not sure. Again, it's not explained very well on that. But, I mean, maybe if they remade it today, they'd take out some of these plot holes, which I wouldn't mind them remaking this one. It was great, but some of the graphics aren't that good, even though they're practical effects. I mean, normally practical effects are the best way to go, but not in this case. And I mean, they're not bad, but again, they could definitely have been better. I mean, we've gotten better from the 80s. I think it was an 80s movies. I'll put it here if I figure it out. I'll have to re-put one of these somewhere else, but that's fine. Am I being attacked? Yeah, apparently. There we go. Observatory. But yeah, I mean, despite some plot holes, it's really not bad. And of course, the graphics could be some updating. I mean, Turok himself, actually, they did really good. But it was just most of the other the little trolls and fairy chick. Well, the fairy chick actually, they didn't really use animatronics or anything for her. They actually just put some leaves on her, which actually makes me think she was supposed to be more of a wood nymph than a fairy. Build right now until I go get supplies I forgot. Which, kind of crappy that I forgot all that. Let's see. Oh, I just put that on the wall.
You look like you could use some coffee.
Not really, but I'll take some anyways. I don't like coffee in reality. Well, depends on how it's made.
Coffee completed.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much as far as hydration.
Welcome aboard,
Now,
Captain. All systems
I have to
online.
address an elephant in the room. If you look it up, you'll see that there is a Troll 2. Don't believe it. That's not Troll 2. If you watch it, you'll understand. It is nothing like the original. In fact, if you do more research, you'll find out that it's not even made in the same country as Troll 1. And there are no trolls in the movie. They are referred to as goblins. And the graphics are even way worse. There's like nothing redeeming about that movie. In the country it was originally made in, it actually does not have the name Troll attached to it. I believe it actually is called Goblin or something or other. I'll have to look that up again. Though, if you ever watched Angry Video Game Nerd, he's got things called Monster Madness on Cinemassacre and all that. He actually does a really good breakdown of this. Actually, if I'll actually look for the link of that video he does, and so you can watch that at some point. Because it's kind of confusing, because it's like a movie that is connected to other movies, and it's one of those chronologically confused things. Like I said, I'll look up the video for you guys, put in the link in the description so you can go watch it. Alright, that's pretty much all I got to say about the Troll movie. I really enjoyed it growing up. As an adult, I can see some flaws with it, obviously. But it's still a good movie. Could be better, could be worse. It's one of the few I will say could use a remake. Though they might have a issue with naming the main character, Harry Potter. Again, the author of the Harry Potter books like to rip off a lot of things. Granted, I love the Harry Potter books, don't get me wrong. I'm bashing on the author, but, the books are actually really sound books. In fact, even though I can't remember if I pointed this out in my Worst Witch movie. Well, it depends on what you're looking for. In some ways, it is better than The Worst Witch. But I think that's because it's longer and got more time to hash out details. But like I said, she's pretty well known to ripping off things of other movies. But so is Disney. I'll get to that eventually. Though, technically now I think they own one of the things that they were ripping off. So I don't know if it's considered a rip-off anymore. I thought I had already done that review, but I looked back at my older movies and it's not there. Though I do have some older videos that was on my wife's account, which I do plan on uploading here, and maybe I did it there. I'm not sure. But, anywho, that's about all. Go watch the original Troll movie, or as I jokingly call it, the original Harry Potter movie. And yeah, it's like I said, it's good. Could be better, could be worse. I know I've said that already. I might even edit out this one, but it's good. Just go watch it. In fact, most of the movies I will review, I will tell you to go watch them. Which is why there are movies that I don't ever plan on watching. Unless I become big and popular. I might actually review... Oh boy. No, I don't know if I would do that one. I normally try to pretend it doesn't exist. You want to watch a review of it, go watch Nostalgia Critic. It's the Star Wars Holiday Special. I might end up reviewing a movie called Strays, because as many times as I've asked him to review that movie, because I want to see other people's opinions, he won't seem to watch the movie Strays. I think it's a really bad movie. The only movie I think is worse is, well, Star Wars Holiday Special. Anywho, y'all have fun out there. Alright, so I decided to make a tiny little clip here at the very end of the video. Because I realized there was something I forgot to mention. When I was... Oh, I do need silver, by the way. But when I was doing my part of the video, I was talking about the old lady being a sorceress, witch, princess. She's also the mother of Timmy from Lassie. I was like, oh man, I was meaning to mention that, and I realized I hadn't. It's like, oh man, how could I have done that? I'm like, some people probably won't remember that, the old Lassie show, but, for those who do remember it, you'll recognize her. Oh, I need soap for that. What else would I look at? Okay. Well, that was all I wanted to mention. Oh, and she's also played a Mrs. Santa Claus from one of my favorite Santa Claus movies, Christmas movies. She's not the best Mrs. Claus, but I would say she's number 2 in my opinion. 2 or 3. I kind of torn between her and another one, but I'll talk more about that stuff come Christmas time when I review those movies. Alright, well that was all I had to say. Have fun.